This is the Billingham Airline Stowaway, part of their Stowaway series. This is one of their lesser known bags, but as more people are choosing compact cameras, this is kind of a great bag for you Fuji, Leica, film people out there, or even you Ricoh people as well. This bag is kind of perfect. Big shout out to Big Head Taco. He turned me on to this bag. Well, I don't mean like he seduced me, like turned me on that way. Well, kinda. Well, anyway, I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, solid guy, great channel, check him out. He's the one that introduced me to this bag, and I like to give credit where credit is due. So this episode is brought to you by my online store, AskMott.com, presets, workshops, one-on-one online coaching, and much more. And so first of all, I didn't need another bag. I never do. Normally we don't. I have everything I need. I get free bags all the time from people. This bag wasn't free, by the way. Bought this with my own money. But recently I went on a little vacation to Paris, and when I'm in another city like Paris, it encourages you to dress up a little bit more. And I did, and I didn't really have a bag that matched sort of an upscale day out in the city. I also want to take my camera with me. Now, this isn't a scenario I find myself in often. I mean, let's be real. I live in Hanoi. I work throughout Southeast Asia. It doesn't exactly encourage high fashion choices for larger, sweaty guys like myself. And that's why I love Wotancraft so much, because they're rugged, low-key, and the collection is like my workhorse for the region. But I also find myself traveling a lot for commercial work. I've been going to Japan quite a bit. I'm heading there in a few weeks. This will be my third time in about a year. And when I have a day off, I like to wander with just one camera, one lens, and shoot street, or just have a camera on me just in case I want to take travel pictures. It's technically like a travel airport everyday bag, but it also is a camera bag. They list a bunch of cameras on there that are compatible with the system. And it's absolutely perfect for my Leica M10D setup and a 50mm or a 35. And I even tested another little kit I like to go out with sometimes is my SL2 and a 35mm, an M35mm. It's snug, but it fits. It also doubles as like a stylish man bag when I don't want to take a camera, but I typically like to take a camera with me. So it could fit your wallet, your phone, a notebook, a book, a Kindle, something like that, and you're good to go. And yeah, I've become like a man bag dude through the years. And so if you want an upscale man bag, this is also great for that. So I wanted a different colorway than black, and so I went to the Leica store here in Vietnam. I debated between the khaki, that's sort of the classic Billingham look, sort of like that safari look. But I also looked at the sage green, which is really sexy as well. I went back and forth. Honestly, I was like, let me buy the sage. And then I was like, well, got the khaki. I kept going back and forth, and then I landed on the khaki because I just feel like it matches everything. In addition to the sage and the khaki, they have a couple other colors as well, and there's two different types of fabric, which I'll talk about that later. So talking about the price in the build, it comes in at $229, expensive for a small bag, but really it's excellent quality with the brass, the leather, their fabric is amazing, so I don't think it's overpriced considering the quality that you get. Comes with a simple canvas detachable strap. Nice to always have a detachable strap, by the way, in case something goes wrong. You could add padding to it. There's no padding, but honestly, with the weight that you're going to put in this thing, you don't need padding here, so I don't mind the simple canvas strap just as it is without padding. As far as the padding that comes with it, doesn't have camera inserts because, again, it's a travel bag / camera bag, but the bag itself is padded enough to give it structure, which I really like, also to protect your gear. I feel very comfortable putting my expensive Leica M10D and my M series lenses in here, no problem at all. And it might just be a good idea to have a bandana in there in case you wanted to cram like an iPad mini or another small lens in there. So this bag is part of their Stowaway series, so there's 3 versions of this bag. It gets a little confusing. This is the Airline Stowaway, the one that I've got. It's long but not as fat as the Polar Stowaway, which is a little bit fatter and not as tall. And then they have the Compact Stowaway, which is just overall smaller and good for a minimalist kit. It's a tough choice on which option to go with. You're just gonna have to look at the kit that you think you're gonna use it with and just sort of make a judgment call. The dimensions are slightly different. I don't think you could go wrong with any of them really, but this worked well for me because I figured I could stick a lens down here sometimes. Also as a travel bag or plane bag, I could fit my iPad mini in here nicely as well. I don't know, I just sort of like this because this is going to have 3 purposes for me, which I'll talk about later. As far as the dimensions and materials go, I'm not going to go through each spec. I'll put the external dimensions here and the internal dimensions here. The weight of this is 0.52 kilograms. It's very light. That's always the thing with Billingham bags. Because they use leather and nice strong canvas, they're always a bit heavy, but this bag's really small, so it doesn't feel heavy at all. The capacity of this is 2.25 liters. When it comes to the materials, you have to look closely at which color you want because the colors come in one material or another. They either come in canvas, so the khaki bag comes in a canvas material, which is going to patina over time. Then they have their own proprietary material, their Fibronite material. That's what the Sage bag came in, and that's gonna stay looking newer longer. That's the way I understand it. They have this 3-layer waterproof fabric. When it comes to the pocket layout, it's quite interesting. It has 6 pockets, and I'll go through those one by one. So the main pocket here, this is just going to be open inside. That's where you're going to put your camera. And again, this one is the Airline Stowaway, so it's a little bit deeper. So when I put my Leica M10D in there, there's definitely room on the top, or I could put a divider on the bottom and put something underneath. As far as getting your camera out of this, it's not going to be a quick access because it's a zippered pocket. And then when it comes to zippers, by the way, they all have these like nicely branded Billingham zippers in brass. They're really beautiful. The brass accents and leather accents on all their bags are absolutely stunning. On the front, you have another zippered pocket here. This is just a tiny little pocket here. I would put your memory cards in here, maybe your batteries, or maybe your business card holder if people still use those. I do. And then you have this like flat pocket here, which is nice for safety and comes undone with their little Billingham system. It's tight in the beginning, but it breaks in over time, but it's pretty quick to access in there. So in that area, you've got a little flat pocket in there. You can put a notebook. It'll be protected too, so stuff's not going to come out because you're going to have this little flap over it. You also have a vertical zipper pocket in there as well. If you're traveling this, you could put your passport in there, travel documents. It's going to be zipped and protected. And it's also really protected well from thieves because like you'd have to get through this and this. So like your expensive stuff, wallet, passport, or things you're really worried about, you could put right in here. And then it has 2 little side pockets. They're snug, they're tight. You could stick pens in there. You could stick a flashlight in there. Whatever you like to carry, like if you're an everyday carry person. So there's one of those on each side. Again, they're quite snug. Then the back has this flat pocket as well. You know, you wouldn't want to put anything here that you'd be afraid of like falling out because this pocket is not protected at all. At least the front flappy pocket has a protection of the front flappy thing, technical term. So yeah, 1, 2, 3 zippered pockets, 4, 5 side little pockets, and then the back pocket. So you can have this thing nicely organized, but not overwhelming. It's kind of perfect, the layout. So now for my 3 scenarios and how I'm going to use this bag, the main way I'm going to use it as a street photography setup, so a day out in the city or just traveling around shooting with my Leica M10D and a 50 or a 35 or maybe even both. I'll also put my phone, wallet, and passport in there, and it just has a very clean, smart look to it. It would also be perfect for Fuji shooters, smaller film cameras, Leica Deluxe 8, Ricoh, any one of these little compact mirrorless setups. Number 2, I'd use it as an in-flight personal bag. I always like to have a pocketable camera like a little Ricoh GR or the Leica Deluxe 8 or the Fuji X100 for shooting out the window or just having a camera on me at the airport just for memories and travel and things like that. But then just also for my personal stuff. Like when I'm sitting on the plane, I like to have like a bag around me. I try to get emergency exit row, which means I can't put a bag in front of me. So I like to just have my stuff here. So passport, couple snacks, ear pods, small camera, my iPad mini or my Kindle or both fit in here. I also like to carry a little point and shoot with me when I do scouting for commercial shoots. So when I'm scouting out for commercial shoots in different countries, I'm going around for the day, I don't want to lug all my gear. So this will be another bag that's kind of great for scouting with a little camera and a notebook in there, taking notes for the shoot. A little side note, this bag, like if you wanted like a quick travel setup and you just have like an overnight bag, Billingham makes a beautiful overnight bag. It's gorgeous and it really just matches well with this if you like sort of matchy type bags. I actually bought one. I bought the sage green. Pretty excited about it. I think it will pair nicely with this. I could have got khaki, but I wanted something a little bit different. I think they still match. So that's a nice overnight bag. Same look, same overall vibe. And this could just sort of fit in there so you don't have to carry both. And then you could take it out when you get on the plane. And then my third use case is just like an everyday man bag like I talked about. Sometimes no camera or really tiny camera. If I just want to go out for the day and look a little bit nicer, I'm dressed up nicer, just want to put my wallet, my keys, a Kindle, headphones. It's just stylish, low-key, and just super functional. It's a little dressy if you went out casual, so I have a Porter Yoshida bag that's kind of nice to dress down. So that's like my dress down everyday man bag. And this is my dress up everyday man bag. So as far as the pros, this bag's awesome. I really like it, as you can tell. It's super comfortable to wear. Billingham bags are master of like the low bounce factor. They conform to your body rather than bounce around like some bags do, like off your hip. And I'm a bouncy dude, man. I'm a bigger guy. I've got a lot to bounce. This bag doesn't bounce. It rests. It conforms. It's part of you. I don't really understand how they do that well and why some don't. Maybe it's the padding because it just has enough structure but not too much where it just kind of bends around you. Other pros, beautiful craftsmanship. Yeah, it's expensive. I think you get a lot for your money with Billingham bags. The brass, the leather, the details, the 3-layer waterproof fabric to protect your kit. It's stylish, but low-key, surprisingly versatile, weatherproof, and it has a bunch of different color options to choose from. As far as the cons go, with any Billingham, one of the big cons about their bags is because they're so stylish, they also look expensive, and that draws attention, unwanted attention sometimes, but honestly, This bag doesn't scream camera bag, doesn't scream like there's something expensive in there, like their Hadley bag. Like, I don't like to use their fancy bags if I'm in sketchy places, and sometimes I am. As a photojournalist, I'm working in sketchy places, not great. If I'm just traveling or I'm shooting a commercial gig, I would consider their bags. But this bag, while it does look fancy, it doesn't look like it has a camera in it. It looks like it has like binoculars in it, and I don't see too many people being robbed for binoculars. But yeah, it's like a upscale man bag. Definitely looks expensive, but doesn't draw a ton of attention and scream like I've got like $30,000 worth of Leica equipment in here, like some of the other bags do. Other little things, like I'd lose the belt loop. I don't know. I'm not a belt loop guy. I can't imagine like wearing this on my belt. I guess some people could pull it off. I can't. I'd prefer just like a little handle on the top to grab it, although it is small enough to just grab with one hand, so not a big deal. What I would do is lose this belt loop and just add a little hook there so you can hook this on things sometimes. Another thing I'd love to see is their other bags have these little sort of brass studs in the bottoms and rest the bag down. Although a narrow, tall bag like this, it's not going to rest like that easily. Well, it did right there. It did a good job, but I just like the brass accents on their other bag. So just to wrap up, yeah, this little bag surprised me. It's kind of perfect if you want a stylish, one camera, one lens, compact setup for a rangefinder or compact camera. It's not trying to be everything. It's not trying to hold a bunch of gear. It's not trying to have a bunch of different techie options. It's stylish without drawing too much attention. It's versatile. You can use it as like a man bag or a camera bag. It's kind of perfect for that trend now of people wanting a more compact style camera. I absolutely love it. It's a smart bag. It's a wicked smart bag. So yeah, if you're like a person, a Fuji, a Ricoh, or anything compact, or film person that likes a bag that looks a little elevated and you care about craftsmanship, definitely give the Billingham Airline Stowaway or just the Stowaway series a look. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to check out my online store at AskMott.com for workshops, online coaching, portfolio reviews, presets, and much more. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and don't forget to have a wonderful day.